The problem is the what?
Law!
The problem is the what?
Law!
The problem is the what?
Law!
Are we going to change it?
Yes!
How are we going to change it? We're going to vote for cannabis-friendly representatives and senators. You have to register to vote. It is Texas' only hope. Jason mentioned HB 2165. Can I get a yeah? Representative David Simpson has put forth the most bold repeal of marijuana prohibition in the nation. This would repeal all marijuana offenses from the Texas statute. 2165 passed out of Criminal Jurisprudence Committee with a vote of 5-2. Is Texas ready? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Is Texas ready? All right, everybody, our 9th and last speaker of the day is Shaun McAlister from DFW. Shaun will be discussing adult use and professionalism. Shaun is a 30-year-old Texas from Arlington who serves as the executive director of DFW NORML since October 2011. He focuses on marketing the DFW NORML brand and growing the organization, and the effects can be seen as they have grown from 100 members to 1,200 members. Shaun was chosen as the High Times Magazine Freedom Fighter in 2012 and has been interviewed many times about his marijuana activism. He advocates for whole plant medicinal cannabis, recreational marijuana for adult responsible use, and industrial hemp for Texas farmers. Shaun is a dedicated father and family man who is passionate about filmmaking, personal development, and pin collecting, you guys. How awesome is that? I have a pretty cool pin on today. He recently founded the Howdy Y'all Social Club to teach his fellow activists how to conquer their fear of public speaking. If you'll all welcome Shaun McAlister.
I'd like to thank Jack Finkel and the entire Texas NORML organization for inviting activists such as myself from across this fine state to participate in such an important day of citizen activism here on the steps of our beautiful capital. Here we are together as both cannabis consumers and non-toking lovers of liberty, gathered in support of the belief that marijuana prohibition has failed our citizens in nearly every measurable way. More of our brothers and sisters are right now locked in cages over this plant than ever before. Does that sound like a free Texas to you? Our local and state governments are spending more and more fighting a losing war against a plant, while attempting to justify spending less and less on things that matter to us as Texans and taxpayers. Things like improving education in this state, or roads, or bridges, or taking care of the elderly, the sick, or maybe even those returning home from the horrors of serving this country. My friends, when laws exist that criminalize thousands or even millions of people over a behavior that harms no one, we're dealing with bad laws. And what do we do with bad laws in this state? We reform them. We make them work smarter for the people they're meant to serve, empower, and protect. And that's what today is all about. Taking a public stand against bad laws that are hurting our communities. And so for that, I thank you all for being here with us today. Despite your fears or your uncertainties, or if your life is anything like mine, People in your world telling you not to get involved with that for whatever reason. Here we all are together, empowered. Thank you, Texas. Texas, I have a question for you. Are we afraid anymore? No! Good. Then now that we're working past our fears together, I'd like to talk about personal responsibility and professionalism as a cannabis consumer. Why? Because while I am just as entertained by that hey man, stoner stereotype on television, I do not believe that this accurately represents me or the average cannabis consumer in this state. Would you agree? The simple fact is, living in a place like Texas as someone who uses marijuana means that civil disobedience is likely part of your day-to-day routine. Whether you're baking brownies privately in your home or using a vaporizer at a public park with the love of your life, you're a lawbreaker. Ooh. This makes it pitifully easy for people who like to ride in on their moral high horse to work or school every day to judge us because of our choice to consume a substance that is far safer than alcohol, tobacco, pharmaceuticals. Our substance is still against the law for some damn reason. So today I'd like to talk about what we can do as cannabis consumers to rise above these stereotypes, not simply for the sake and sanity of our own individual relationships with this wonderful plant, but also with the explicit intention of educating the remaining few lawmakers still riding their moral high horses here to work every day, where they make laws that impact all Texans. We need them to understand that their numbers are shrinking, our numbers are growing, and we will be heard, damn it! Today we are out of the cannabis closet and into the light of liberty, where our lawmakers, our fellow citizens, and the entire world can see us. We as those living outside of a law that we know to be morally wrong, must hold ourselves to a higher standard than ever before if we are to impact the policy here in Texas. Would you agree? Yeah! Whether you are a medical marijuana user, a religious user, or heck, maybe you're just like me and you're perfectly healthy and you use it as a recreational substance as a responsible adult, we can set the example. We can be the example within our own spheres of influence of what it means to be a marijuana law reformer. Because, my friends, it's far more than just being a pot smoker. Would you agree? Yeah! We can be educated on this topic. We can be unemotional when someone engages with us that disagrees with us. Because in order to keep that conversation alive, we have to be patient. We have to understand that we're combating years and years of reefer madness, my friends, and our patience will pay dividends. Would you agree? We can think about the perceptions of people that aren't us, that see this movement growing and that are worried about their children or maybe their own personal safety. And by being respectful, by being responsible, we can change their perceptions and help them to embrace what is coming to this state. Would you agree, Texas? Yeah! Smoking marijuana shouldn't be about proving something to society or yourself. We must be cautious that our personal marijuana consumption isn't impacting the people around us in a negative way. Would you agree with that? Yeah! Just like alcohol and tobacco users do, right? Yeah! Sometimes, well, they should, you're right. Maybe they should switch to marijuana, I'm just saying. Sometimes, marijuana smokers allow this plant to be the excuse for why they blow off the things that they should be taking seriously in their lives. It's unfortunate. Nobody likes to talk about that at these kinds of things, but I am. Because I know a lot of those people. I used to be one of those people. Blowing off your personal responsibilities over marijuana either at work or school and life. Do you think that that helps the perceptions by our lawmakers, or our parents, or our teachers, or our roommates, or our friends, or our bosses, or our spouses? No! We can change these perceptions. We can think about these perceptions. We can do our best to be educated, professional members of this community. Have you ever thought about how your marijuana use could impact somebody that you care about? I mean, let's be fair. If you are somebody who has people in your life and you use marijuana and it's not negatively impacting them, congratulations. It sounds like you're a responsible cannabis consumer, like most adults. But if you are disappointing people that are counting on you in your life because you would rather get high, you're hurting both your own personal development and potential and alienating a movement that you are claiming to want to help. Would you agree, Texas? Stoners are not just interested in being lazy and getting high, although that is sometimes fun. Would you agree? It's likely that all of us could stand to be a little bit more professional or respectful or even educated representatives of this culture, myself included. We're making progress here in Texas because we continue to put our best foot forward. And if more of us make a conscious effort to do this at every possible opportunity, you might just be amazed at the minds and hearts that can change around you that seemed so very closed off before. I know that this has happened in my life, where family members that didn't or still don't want to understand my marijuana use, through respectful and patient conversations, have come to understand what has brought me to Austin today to speak with you today. My friends, this can be you as well. It may not happen tomorrow. You may have to have these conversations for a year or 2 years or 10 years, but I tell you this, if you are persistent, if you are consistent, you can make some changes in the minds and hearts of people around you. Do you agree, Texas?
Yes, sir!
I'd like to close my brief speech here today with a quote from an educator, a poet, a teacher advocate that you may have heard of from the YouTubes, named Taylor Molly, that I think is wonderfully appropriate both to our worldwide movement in general, but especially to the movement here in Texas. Here's the quote. I implore you, I entreat you, and I challenge you to speak with conviction, to say what you mean in a manner that bespeaks the determination with which you believe it. Because contrary to the wisdom of the bumper sticker, it is not enough these days to simply question authority. My friends, you have to speak with it too.
That's right!
Thank you for your bravery and enthusiasm for marijuana law reform today. Please, please, please do not let it end here, because it is high time we put prohibition out to pasture in this state, Texas. Herb's the word, my friends.